A lot of you who do not know, I used to be 70 pounds heavier, okay? So I've kept it off for 15 years. Now the reason, thank you. Lindsay, you got the slideshow going, Bo? There you go. So the coolest thing about this is I had an aha moment one day. I went to bend over to tie my shoes and I physically couldn't. And I was like, what the heck, when did this happen? And I remember feeling like really mad at myself, but also I was like, you know what? I can either continue to go the same route or I can stay still and make it continue to be worse. So I decided to do something about it. At this time, I was terrified to go to gyms. Do not look at me, don't judge me. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to lift weights, none of that. So what I decided to do is I was gonna teach myself how to run outside. So I did 1 block, cool, walk, jog, 2 blocks, 3 blocks. I got to a mile, I got to a 5K, I ended up doing a half marathon. It was a long time in between. But anyways, but the biggest thing is that I decided that I was going to teach myself how to work out because I didn't like gyms. So let's just tell you, at this time as well, I knew that I needed to change my nutrition. So at the time I did Weight Watchers. Now the thing about Weight Watchers back in the day, and I don't know anything about it now, is that you got points, right? So I had 20 points. Well, I knew that I can have a runza for 7 points and a french fry for 6 points. And then I had some extra change. But what I wasn't doing is I wasn't fueling my body with good, healthy food. So I was losing weight because I was pretty much starving myself, right? Not a good way. So you know what, I'm gonna educate myself. So I decided that I was gonna teach myself about how to fuel your body properly. So I was like, okay, so there has to be more to this because I wanna be strong, right? I just don't wanna lose weight, I wanna lift weights and I wanna be strong with the whole thing. So then I decided, my aunt actually, she had asked me, she's like, hey, do you want to try this boot camp with me? And I was like, okay, I'll go. So this is a small little boot camp, so I went and checked it out, and I was like, oh, I like this. I like this because someone's telling me what to do. I don't have to think. I'm gonna do a bunch of shit I don't wanna do. But I loved it because I also felt very empowered after I left. Now let's fast forward. So I did that for a while, but then the coolest part about this is I was asked to be an apprentice. And he had asked me, he's like, hey, did you ever think about being a coach? I was like, me? Like what? So at this time I was like, yeah. I mean, and little did I know I was doing a lot of the things that people do when they're a coach. I was high-fiving, I was encouraging. I'm like, yes, you got this. It was just in me and I didn't know it. So let's fast forward. I did that and I actually started a gym with this other fellow. Good story, worked there for 5 years, great experience, but I decided at one point I was done. Let me be done with that. So, life happened, all of the things. I ended up stopped teaching at this gym, and I had no intention of really continuing what I was doing, although I loved it. Now I'm working at State Farm this whole time, I'm doing all the things. But then, after I was done at my last day, somebody messaged me on Facebook, and they were like, hey, you should do a boot camp at the park. And I was like, yeah, okay. So I remember putting on Facebook, I was like, hey friends, boot camp at the park. What'd I say, $10, I don't have any weights, I have nothing. Well, I had 20 people show up. I was like, the math is math, and I was not getting paid this much. Now the funny thing about this is this green Honda, I swear, this is gonna go down in history. This green Honda is everything, because my business was ran in the back of this green Honda. It was a hot damn mess. Liability forms, weights, resistance bands, all of the things. But anyways, this was a start of something that I didn't even know that was gonna turn into this. No intention. So the big part of this is that I'm doing this, okay? So this is in September in Nebraska, and it starts getting cold, and I have a following. I have people showing up. I'm like, all right. So then I was like, well, what am I gonna do with this? Because at this time, people were buying punch cards, and they were prepaying me for 10 classes for $90 back in the day. Sorry. Went up just a little bit. You guys are like, wait a minute, rude. Hey, shh. Anyway, okay. But they already prepaid for these punch cards, so like, I felt bad if I would just be done. So I'm like, well shit, let me figure out something. So what did I end up doing? I ended up finding this boutique gym, and they let me sublease at 7:30 at night. Not that a lot of people love to do 7:30 at night's class, but well, what happened is it started to be more people. Well, now I had to add a class. I was able to do 2 classes. I was there. We were evolving. Well, then that place closed. Didn't give me any notice, just closed. I was like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? Luckily, I found the next spot. Well, hold on. Don't be dramatic yet. I found the next spot, and then they closed too. Okay, and then it gets exciting. But then I was like, what am I gonna do with this? Am I gonna continue this or not? Because I was working at State Farm full time. I did this as my side gig. Well, I ended up driving down Cotner, where a friend of mine did, and they were like, hey, there's this place on 66 in Cotner. It's a shithole. It literally, well, there's another picture. When it rained inside, it rained outside. Who's my old OG people? Y'all went through some things with me. But it was beautiful because it was our own four walls. That's it. I didn't care. I didn't have to listen to anybody. Nobody's going to shut me down. It was my gym. So at this time, I'm like thinking, oh my gosh, there is so much more that I can give to this, and I can't because I'm working at State Farm, 7 to 3:30. I'm going there, and I tell this story, and every single time I say it, it gives me chills. But I remember on a random Tuesday, I text my husband, and I was like, Corey, I was like, I think I need to quit my job. And he's like, okay. I was like, I know that LP Fitness has so much more, and I can't do it while working at State Farm. And I worked there for 23 years, guys. Since I was 17, that's a long time. And just so y'all know, State Farm used to be the place, and still is, but where you retire, pension, 401, like paychecks. It's a good thing. But anyways, I text Corey, and I was like, you know what, husband, I have to do this. He told me I had the okay. He's like, well, let's go. Well, I ended up leaving for lunch, and I never went back that day. Now, the coolest thing about this story is that if I would have probably asked 2 or 3 people, they'd have been like, yeah, no, don't do that. You probably should go back to work. But I went with my gut. And you know what? My gut told me that I had to figure out what to do, and I knew that there was so much more potential. So, quit my job, did the thing. I grabbed a business coach. Because you know what? Being a personal trainer has nothing to do with running a gym. Being a great cook has nothing to do with running a restaurant. Just so you guys know. Just because you're good at a thing, I didn't know anything. So then I had the business coach that gave me the plan, and that's why now I opened LMH Business Coaching, because I love helping people run their business, all the things. So let's fast forward. Next slide, I think. Hired my business coach. I kept driving him by the East Park location, right? I'm like, there's no way I can afford it. No way. I can't. I'm like, oh my God, but I need to be a legit gym. Like, because it kind of wasn't, we had no parking. That's kind of a big deal, whatever. So we drive around there. I keep going by there. I'm like, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I'm just going to sign a lease. Literally, I had no money. I'm not going to deal. No money. So sign a lease. I'm like, let's go. Ended up rebranding to a transformation center. Why? Everything that I needed during my journey. Let me teach you how to work out. Let me teach you how to work out and eat good food so you're not eating a Runza and fries. I still love a Runza and fries. Don't get it twisted. But you know what I'm saying. Let me teach you nutrition. Let me debunk all the things. But let's also, and the biggest thing I needed was someone to hold me accountable. Check in on me. Ask me how I'm doing. Let me ask you dumb questions and not make me feel dumb. So many things. So it's like, all right, this is going to be the only one. So we ended up building LP Fitness Transformation Center, the only transformation center here in Lincoln, Nebraska. So big ups. Now the big story with that is that during the time with the baby gym, I did tell Felicia to quit her job. I forgot about that part. I was like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, but do you want to start this gym with me? But anyways, Felicia's been alongside with me through all this too in building the gym, so I had to give her props. So. But the biggest thing about LP Fitness and why we are so different is because of the community, hence this event tonight. We do this because we appreciate you guys, and we want you guys all to know that this is a journey. This isn't about perfection. This is not about, it really isn't, because we are so hard on ourselves. It's this, and don't get it twisted, that's me still, all the time. But I want you guys to know that you should be proud of yourself for showing up. It's okay not to have a perfect week. All of these things put together, but you have a community of people that are here to support you. The coolest thing, too, to add on to that is we've been one Lincoln Choice the last 3 years in a row. That's kind of fun. Best place to work, yeah. Holistic health and best gym, so. The best, yes.